Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to another MOTOBOB test ride. Today I'm on the Triumph Tiger 800 XCA. This is the adventure model, the kind of off-road version, so you'll notice things like the handguard, the peripheral lights here, the little beak, bash guard there, crash bars, pannier racks, heated seat, heated grips, sat-nav mount, adjustable screen I think. What else? Everything. This is the one with the full works, so this is a quick test ride review. Unfortunately, I'm in central London. This is Battersea Park. Now, this being an adventure bike, I'm not really going to get full opportunity to explore the off-road capabilities of this bike. And I'm probably not the best person to do that anyway. It's not like I ever do any off-road riding. So this is purely a quick hour's ride, and I'm just going to talk to you guys about what it's like to ride this bike in London. Let's fire her up. So that's what it sounds like. A little bit of gravel riding to start us off here. Sounds pretty nice. I tested out the F800 a few months back at BMW, and obviously with that being a parallel twin, it's quite a thumpy sort of bike. This is a triple, same engine that's in the Daytona 675 and the Street triple as well, I believe. It's just got a longer stroke, so it's up to 800 cc's rather than 675. A bit more raspy rather than beefy. Now, every bike I test ride, it's always a little bit of a disappointment to have the stock silencer on, because majority of people will replace it, and so you can't get a true sense of what it sounds like. But there are plenty of clips on YouTube of how a Triumph triple sounds within a Krapovic exhaust or something like that, so I guess you can always check those out. So with the 800cc engine, it does about 95 horsepower I think, so a little bit more powerful than the BMW, and you can certainly feel it. Like, woo, here we go, beautiful. So I won't get much chance to kind of open the throttle, but definitely sort of 0 to 40 and stuff, it certainly shifts. Apparently the idea with the longer stroke and the bigger capacity is that it gives it more mid and low end power compared to those street bikes, which makes sense for an off-roader. But it'll really rev up to like 10,000 here, so I'm only getting it up to sort of 5, 6, 7. From what I've read, a little bit of that kind of top end power is sacrificed, but yeah, it's definitely quick enough. I see plenty of people commuting in London on adventure bikes, so certainly I can see why you might look at this. The other option is the XR version, which is the road going version or road oriented version, and that's got a smaller front wheel and cast alloy wheels and fewer of the kind of additional bits like the handguards, the little beak and all of the off-road stuff. These are all available I think as add-ons for the XR pretty much. But I think the key is, you know, you don't really need all of those for riding on the road, and you can save yourself quite a bit of money. So this is pretty much at the top end, but I think they start with the XR at around 9 grand. But for me, this is the better looking bike. I've read that it handles a little bit better on the road with the smaller front wheel, but that's got to be fairly negligible. It really depends what kind of riding you're doing, but if I was sort of commuting around town and on the A roads and that kind of thing, then maybe I'd go for this anyway, because at least you've got the option then to use it for a bit of adventure riding if it tickles your fancy at some point, and it's still perfectly fine on the road. Like, I've got no problems. Such an easy bike to ride. Oh, I'll take that back. It is easy. That was just user error, rider error. In terms of seat height, there's a bit of adjustment. I'm 5'9", 5'10", somewhere between 5'10" on a good day, and I can get 1 foot flat on the floor or 2 tiptoes. So certainly around the traffic and that sort of thing, it's no problem. And I'm sure there's a lowering kit if you need it. But it's very, very easy to ride. When I rode the Street Twin, again a few months back, one of the things that I really liked about it was how light the clutch was, and it's the same on this bike as well, a really light clutch. Light steering, fairly nimble. You're always going to have to filter a little bit on a test ride in London, but no problems at all with this bike. Recently I rode the F800 GT, which is the sports touring version of the GS, and the 2017 update to that brings ride-by-wire, which most new bikes seem to be now, but it was a very, very light throttle, not very much resistance to it, and I felt like it, you know, when you're going over bumps and stuff, it's like wobbling around. There's a few bikes that I have felt that it, you know, it doesn't feel particularly connected. I like a little bit of resistance to the throttle still. So this is not too bad, you know, it's a light throttle, it's comfortable. I think you could hold it in that position very easily when you were on the motorway or something. But yeah, it's not bouncing around too much. It's just a lovely bike to sit on, and it's, as I said, really easy to ride, everything about it. Throttle's good, clutch is good, steering's light, handles nicely, it's fast, and also the brakes are pretty decent. Not too much bite, but when you give them a good squeeze, they stop you, as brakes should. This XC version as well versus the versus the road going XR has longer travel and I think better quality suspension, and it's definitely a comfy ride. I'm not going to be crossing the Himalayas today, but I rode over a few speed bumps earlier and it soaks them up easy, so that's about the most challenging urban terrain you can get. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of how the modern Triumph bikes look largely. Like, I love the kind of Bonneville, the Thruxton, the Street Twin, the Scrambler, yeah, all of those kind of heritage style bikes from Triumph I really like the look of, but I don't know, I think it's the Street Triple that's the one that I just can't get with. It's the headlights. But this, especially in this green, sort of army green colour, looks awesome. It looks very sort of strong and hard wearing, robust, as an adventure bike should, I suppose. The XR with the smaller front wheel and, I don't know, without the little beak on the front, doesn't quite do it for me, but it's not a bad looking bike, but I just think this looks like great. I've already stopped in the park to show you guys how it looks, but maybe I'll see if there's anywhere else I can stop again just to have another look at it. Bit of a water hazard here, look. Adventure. Adventures everywhere, guys. You just got to go and find it. Alright, let's take another look at it quickly. Yeah, what's not to like about that? I really like the swing arm. Frame looks good, this sort of gunmetal colour. These little peripheral lights always look good as well, don't they, on a adventure bike? And like I say, I just feel like the spoked wheels finished off the look. Oh, cobbles! Yeah, no problem. Probably go in this little ditch, look. Pothole, no problem. It's a beaut. So I suppose for a lot of folks, if you're thinking about buying this bike, you might also be looking at the F800GS, as I've already mentioned. They are very similar in some respects. Like, I think they're both good around town. As I say, not a chance to try it off-road, apart from the cobbles back there, of course, and the water hazard. But yeah, they're plenty quick enough. Easy bikes to ride, both pretty good looking. So the two differentiating factors probably are the price when you spec it out how you want, because there'll probably be a little bit of difference there once you've chosen all the optional extras. I mean, like I say, this is fully kitted out, but you might not need all of these things. And I guess the other factor is the engine. This is a bit more powerful, but I think there's plenty of power really in the F800GS. It's more about the character for me, the twin versus the triple. So I definitely recommend riding both. I can see the merits of each. Like when you rev this, it takes off a little bit more, but the BMW just has that BMW grunty sound, which some people really like, me included. I mean, there are a few small differences in kind of, from what I can remember, versus the 800 in terms of the little additional details, like heated seats. I didn't see those as an option, or they weren't on the demo bike. They probably are available, worth checking out if that's a big deal to you. It's lovely and toasty on the butt, so if you are buying this for touring or commuting, especially in the winter where you don't have a choice but to ride, then I can see that being a big seller. I think I'd probably, if I had to choose from the two, I don't know. Not much in it for me. Possibly this, just for the motor. I'm getting a lot of wind noise in the mic. It's quite a windy day, so I'm just going to close this and see if I can get a bit more of the engine noise for you guys. Actually, let's tell you what I'll do. This is going to work. I'm going to put the mic in my back pocket rather than in my helmet, and see if it makes a bit of a difference. So I'll speak to you in a minute. Hope that worked, but probably not. You know, you always get a better sound when you kind of out the back. It's maybe a pillion would get a better ear. Maybe. Oh man, my GoPro battery just went. Alright, well, that's it anyway. I'm pretty much back at the dealer. Metropolis in Vauxhall, London. Great bike, really enjoyed riding it. Easy to ride, so perfect for riding around London. So go check it out. If you're thinking of buying it, let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, and if you're new here and you want to see more videos like this, then please click subscribe.